Well, there you go. That's living, climbing, bouldering, doing whatever in Wales. Lots of rain, lots of midges, lots of awesome rock, but it can be a bit of a frustrating game sometimes. The price we pay for living in an amazing place. I'm just watching this massive raven fly over there. But it is frustrating. There's a few like easy warm-up problems that were really good fun. I've never been here, like I said earlier, but it's a great boulder. There's some more behind as well that I haven't been up to. I was just on that cool route, Caseg 6C plus, John Redhead legend route from in the 80s. It's hard. I got to the top move, going to make this little slap. I didn't commit. I would have committed the next time because you just got to go for it. Massive clap of thunder, more rain. It's just dripping with water now, so there's no way I'd stick that. So it's home time. Might do another video this afternoon on something, see what we can do. But now it's a little walk out. Come to this boulder if you get the chance. Come up here. Lovely walk in, 20 minutes from the parking. Something's on the road, and then through this lovely woodland and over the river and stuff. You probably hear it in the background. Ace place to come. I'm definitely coming back because I've got to do that. And there's some other cool problems here as well, so I'm definitely coming back. Thanks for watching that video. Sorry it didn't climax in some amazing tick of some 7-something route or anything. It climaxed in thunder, lightning, rain and midges.
Hey folks, welcome back inside. It's still grim out there. I hope you enjoyed that bit of bouldering at the beginning of the video. I was going to make a whole video about that bouldering spot. It was really good fun, but obviously it got properly rained off, thunder, lightning and everything. So here we are back indoors, nice and cosy. The heating's on, the rain's still falling out there. Quite happy to be indoors at the moment, to be honest. So today's second half of the video, the main event if you like, is going to be about why I love Jetboils but I don't use them, and I'm going to show you my setup as well, what I usually use instead. I think the last time I used this was for that AeroPress video, but before that using it in anger. I couldn't tell you the last time, to be honest, it's been so long. I do really like them. The fact that everything fits inside there is great. I just love the sort of simplicity of it being a complete system, not without their flaws of course, but I do like that. I love the fact they're efficient as well. They're just quick at boiling water. Does that matter on like an ML course? Not really, no. Does it matter on a longer trip? Well, yeah, because it starts to save gas and stuff if it's more efficient, isn't it? So it's got like this heat exchanger kind of thing down there, which is pretty common these days, but I think it was a kind of relatively newer idea to have it all built in when the Jetboil came out. There's lots of options these days of basically copies of Jetboils. Outkit do one for more like 40 quid or 45 quid, something like that, compared to the fairly expensive Jetboil. But these are kind of the original ones, if you like. They come with the little cup at the bottom. They crack pretty quick, I find, so that's why it's covered in gaffer tape now, to patch that up. It's kind of relegated for use as the dog bowl, to be honest. I tend to drink straight from that if I'm drinking stuff. Within it is the burner bit itself, and then the support, because for all the good points they are a little bit wobbly when they've got their gas on as well. And one of these small gas canisters fits in as well, so I love the fact it's a complete system. Other downsides are, this is cracked for me. It doesn't affect the use of it at all. I don't even know how that happened, but it's pretty old, my Jetboils, we can forgive it that. The little electronic igniter thing, that failed pretty quickly, and speaking to other people that have Jetboils or have ever had them, pretty much every Jetboil ever, that thing breaks. Maybe they're better these days, but I'm not sure. I never like to rely on them anyway. I always tend to take a spark stick or lighter or something anyway, so it doesn't really save me any weight by having that on there. I'd rather not have it, to be honest, than it's a potential thing to break. On mine as well, this thing's broken long ago. It caught fire on my first ever use actually, but that was my fault, not Jetboils. Really nice to drink from because they've got this neoprene stuff, nice to hold. You don't burn your hands when you're holding it, so they're really great setup. If you're doing stuff that's more extreme, then you can get like hanging kits for them, so you can hang it off your climbing kit if you're on a portaledge or something, or hang it in your tent if you're somewhere where you're a bit more tent bound. So they're really pretty good in that regard. Not very good at doing anything other than boiling water. Hard to like get a simmer or anything, so for me that's all I would use a Jetboil for, is boiling water to either add to those dehydrated meals or to shove your boil in the bag meal in, something like that. Not going to start cooking anything. I don't much enjoy cooking at home, so I'm not really going to go to town when I'm in the tent either. So we put it all back in and let's weigh it, because for me that's the biggest downside, right? So I've got the little support thing, put the burner in, lid on, you can drink through the lid, it's got a nice hole, works really well that. And let's just film it, see what we get. So let's turn the little scales on 510 mounted. That was a bit unparalleled stuff going on there as well. So let's film that. I haven't actually weighed it, so this is a surprise to me. Obviously I could have looked it up on the internet, but it's more fun to do this. Jetboil settled on 434 grams. Okay, I mean that's pretty meaningless to me in terms of numbers, so let's have a look at what I do. I think my setup is lighter, it certainly feels lighter when I pick it up, and we'll weigh it in a second. I use this little Outkit titanium mug, it's 900 millilitres, and in it you can fit a gas in with these bits as well, but it's on the floor at the moment. I use this MSR Pocket Rocket 2. Nice, neat, simple solution. I think these are really well made. These just feel like a nice bit of kit. The things fold out, the little arms fold out, and to get your support, the little adjuster there, it's just all a nice piece of kit, I reckon. It fits in this little thing, but I don't bother taking it because it's just a few extra grams and it takes up space in there. You can't fit that and the gas in a wanna, so I just leave that at home. And just the little spark sticks. This doesn't matter if it gets wet or whatever. I'll put a little link to one of these, but they just work whether it's wet or whatever, and they light a gas stove, no drama at all. Let's chuck those in. What I'm also going to throw in for the weighing is the little support for the unit as well, because the one that comes with a Jetboil, I just use it for other stuff as well, because it just sits onto any old gas thing. They are a bit, gas stoves in general, they tend to be a bit tippy unless you get the ones that have the remote gas canister. So let's weigh this and see what we get. Let's turn that on again. Let's fire up the phone for the second thing, and let's weigh that. 252. So it's a fair chunk lighter, isn't it? Best part 200 grams. That's enough to make it seem worthwhile to me, to be honest. This does everything a Jetboil does. It all fits into the one thing. It boils pretty quick, but probably not as quick as a Jetboil. You could obviously take like a little shield for it or something to keep the wind off it, but then that's adding weight. I think if you're just careful about where you put it, it's efficient enough, but it's not going to be as efficient as the Jetboil. Not quite so nice to drink from because it hasn't got the neoprene or hold. Use these, and even these heat up a bit, so I'll often put a sleeve over my hand or use a glove or something like that to pick it up and drink from, or do whatever I'm doing with it. But that weight saving is a bit of a gift for me. Is that 180 grams or whatever it was gonna make or break your trip? No, probably not. But when you combine it with other savings of similar nature, suddenly you're saving quite a lot of weight, aren't you? So it's absolutely worth it for me. There hasn't really got any negatives in that situation for me. The Jetboil, it's great, but it's heavy. Now I do have one other little setup that I use as well, which is using this one. This is a little Nordisk mug, and this is more like 350 millilitres. It doesn't say on it, but it's something like 350 millilitres. Let's just chuck the stuff in there, the same bits, and a little lighter spark stick. Remember, I'll put links to all this stuff below as best I can. Okay, that's on. Let's weigh that one, see what this comes in at. 195 grams. So again, that's saving actually quite a lot, isn't it? Disadvantage of this setup, we definitely can't do boil in the bag kind of stuff in it. But to be honest, I use those less and less. What I tend to do is either make my own stuff out of couscous and chopping stuff into that, or using those dehydrated meals, because they're so calorific that that's important to me, and they're tasty as well. That's important to me as well, but they are expensive. All those three things are important to me, but I feel like I can justify that expense these days. But that works. Hasn't got a lid, so it's not as efficient in that sense. So what I'll often do is I'll make a lid out of something else that's already in the rucksack. So maybe I've used foil to wrap something, so I'll just chuck some foil on top of that to make it go a bit quicker. But for me, in a mountain leader sense, doing trainings and assessments, I'm only out for a night or two, so I don't have to worry about saving loads of gas, or I've got plenty of time to sit there and wait an extra 30 seconds for the water to boil. It makes no difference to me. So this is my preferred setup. I've put this gaffer tape on there, and if you do that, it kind of shrinks and melts a bit on the first go, but then sort of settles down. It makes it a bit nicer to drink from. You can get it a bit higher as well, but titanium, when it's got a really hot fluid in it, is not very nice to drink from, burns your lips, so that's a little top tip for you there. The only other thing I add that's worth mentioning now is like the little titanium spoon. Because I use those dehydrated meals a lot, you know, the bags they come in, it's hard to get right in without getting rice or beans or whatever all over your fingers. So I do like this, a bit of civilization, isn't it? You get right into their corners as well, so I'll put a link to that below. They're not very much money, 6 or 7 quid, something like that. I really like those, so I take that with me as well. They don't weigh very much because it is titanium. I'd love to hear from you guys as to what your setups are. There's loads of alternatives, isn't there? I use gas cookers because they're kind of clean and easy to use and tend to pack up quite small. There's loads of options in like meths and petrol, and they've got their advantages, they've got their disadvantages as well. But let me know what your setup is, and maybe I can learn some things about where you save weight. I think you can even get a titanium one of these. What we tend to find is the lighter your stuff gets, perhaps the more expensive it gets too. But I love saving weight. Any less weight going through my knees, step after step after step. You know, I'm in the mountains a lot. That means a lot to me. I have a nicer time and a more comfortable time. It has a knock-on effect on the days after as well. Do my knees ache the next day, or am I happy and good to go for the next day, doing whatever I might be doing? So worth thinking about. Like I say, do let me know your setups, and equally let me know with any questions you've got yourself. I hope you enjoyed this video. As always, you know, go and find us on Insta, follow us on there, find us on Facebook, follow us on there, click that like button, smash the subscribe button. If you ever find a video that you really like, share it on your own social media. That's always much appreciated as well. Thanks again for watching. More videos coming up very soon.